Insights and analytics, the best practices. Hey, I think I've got the audio optimized here. The the fix isn't pretty, but it seems to be working for now, so we're going to roll with it. So, welcome to Insights and Analytics, video blog number 2, our analysis best practices. We're getting closer, and as we get closer to building that first dashboard, I know you're getting anxious. You want to jump in and start using these tools, and you're enough talking to me and all this. Let's get in there. But what we need to do first is some housekeeping. We want to get comfortable with fundamental knowledge of analysis. And I'm not talking anything too mathematical or technical or sophisticated, but there are some basic principles, fundamentals that are key for you when you're working with the insights and analytics dashboard and tools and the reporting. So we're going to talk about those today with client growth, existing campaigns, going to market, and prospecting. And after watching this video, you'll know the key performance indicator, the KPI, for every digital ad. You'll have an understanding of the three main profiles that you're going to find inside Insights and Analytics campaigns. So we'll start with item number 1 in the agenda, and that's client growth. And when we talk about client growth, we're really at the heart of every single advertising agency in the world. We run ads to make money. And when we make money, we create job security, we increase wages, we increase benefits, and we better the life of everyone that we work with. And our clients run ads for the exact same reasons. They're trying to grow their company, to create jobs, increase wages and benefits for the owners and the employees, and establish some job security. Now wait, this is really basic, right? This is just fundamental common sense. Nothing earth-shaking here, but we need to understand this. We need to come from this perspective when we analyze a client's advertising campaign, because then there's only one key performance indicator. There's only one KPI, and that's conversions. An advertisement that does not convert does not help the client grow. And there are hundreds of other metrics that provide information about the advertising performance, but the only one that we're optimizing, the only key KPI, is conversions. So, for instance, in our digital advertising, we can measure channel performance, keyword performance. We can measure the time on site, page views, ranking positions in the SERPs, backlink strategies, competitor backlink strategies, page designs. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of metrics, but there's only one thing that we need to focus on, and that is if the ad is converting, all of those other, or is not converting rather, all of those other methods just don't matter. They're just adding noise. They're kind of like when you're listening to a radio station that's filled with static. So your first priority then is to build the campaign that converts. And then you can start using all of these other measures and techniques to optimize those conversions. In fact, Ogilvy has said that 97% of the mistakes made in advertising are the result of trying to optimize the ad before it was converting. So in this case, the word optimize means to increase conversions. With that then, advertising is a never-ending, ongoing experiment. And since the very first ad that was run some 2,000 years ago in the past, advertising has always been a science of data collection, analysis of the data, developing some hypotheses based on the analysis, putting in some changes, repeat. We can never just expect that we're going to have this one perfect ad. And you should always make the client aware of that. This is an ongoing experiment. In fact, in optimization, your chief role is to make sure that you are the catalyst that reminds everyone in the game. Everyone in the game, from the account executive to management to executive management to the sales rep to the client. You're the one person that keeps bringing everybody back to the realization that this is an ongoing experiment. It's continuously needing to change and alter based on the data. So you should always make the I to always take the idea that um, these other techniques, all of these other techniques, only come into play when your advertisement starts converting. So, and I'll show you techniques for A/B testing and multivariate testing and future blogs, and you'll be sure to know how and when to use experimental designs to optimize the campaigns. And when we do this right, when we start doing this in this way, you, me, the client, we're going to create the best advertising. So the first profile that we're going to look at then is existing campaigns. Let me jump in here to our dashboard, our insights and analytics tools here, and all of our existing campaigns are in this profile. This profile for Republic Media. When you change this profile and you select the Republic Media profile, then the campaigns that are going to provide here are going to be campaigns that you have got access to. These are going to be your accounts. And from there, then you'll be able to start building these tools out and start figuring out where the optimizations are coming from or where they're not coming from and such. And so that's the existing campaigns. And when we start looking at the profiles, it becomes incredibly important that you and me and everybody else in the organization and outside the organization understand the terminology client and customer. So when I start talking about a client, I'm talking about our advertiser, the person that is hiring us to run their ads. That's the client. So the customer then is the consumer that takes action on our client ads. So that's the person that buys from our client. So quite easily we can say, to put it in a nutshell, our clients have customers. Now, when I say client, you'll know what I'm talking about. When I say customer, we'll all know what we're talking about. So that's an important distinction for us. And I'm going to make a quick jump into another segue here because we're talking about analysis and data collecting. Then we're going to ask our clients to install Tag Manager on their websites. We need to use Tag Manager so that the data that we're collecting on our clients' ads, all of their ads, ours, competitors, clients' own efforts, whatever, we want to be able to, as closely as possible, get clean data. So if instead we rely on third-party data, which is usually partial data, then we start sacrificing and setting ourselves up and the client up for making what statisticians call type 1, type 2 errors. And think about this. This is logic when you break it down and you start thinking about it. If we're analyzing some data, and that data tells us there's this cause and effect, and we start figuring out, oh, well, here's what we need to do because of this cause and effect, and it's untrue. That data is just giving us the wrong information. Then we've just made what's called a type 1 error. We've made decisions that tell us how to fix something that just isn't true. And the type 2 error is quite the opposite of that. The data is telling us that something is not going on when it actually is. So then we start making changes and we start figuring out how to fix this thing, but it's not really true. So that's a type 1 and a type 2 error. And statisticians, we look at it as garbage in, garbage out. That is, if our third-party vendors and data collectors are sending us garbage data, that's the garbage in. And so we start analyzing and making decisions based on that garbage, then what we're sending out is garbage. So the terminology is garbage in, garbage out. And we're going to just require that our clients install Tag Manager container codes on every single page of their website. And we can eliminate altogether the type 1, type 2 errors. Now, I know what you're thinking that, oh my gosh, it sounds daunting. Installing a container tag on every single page of the website. But the vast majority of websites today are managed by a content management system, a CMS. In actuality, it takes less than 5 minutes. I'm going to say let's reach out. Let's just say 10 minutes. It takes less than 10 minutes to open up the body page, to install the container in the right location, and upload the body page. And once they do that, they upload that one page to their entire website, it automatically feeds to every page in the site. It's just that simple. A CMS system is a magical thing. I'm pretty sure like probably well over 90% of the websites in use today have a CMS system, and it's really not that daunting of a task. Now, I hate to even mention this, but if you end up in a situation, an oddball situation where the client just simply can't, for whatever the reason, just can't install Tag Manager, then there is an alternative. There is one workaround, and that is that they can go into their Google Analytics. They can create what's called a unique view, and they can give us complete admin rights to the unique view within their Google Analytics. Now that's going to take quite a bit longer. It's a little bit more of technical to show them and teach them and talk them through how to get that done. It's way easier to use Tag Manager, but that is the alternative. Please, please, please don't do it unless you absolutely have to. All right. So the next profile in Insights and Analytics is the Go-to-Market. So let me go back over here to the tool, and we'll go to Market Solutions for Republic Media. And when you're in this profile, then the campaigns that you'll build and have access, you'll be working with, have access to, and be working with, are the Go-to-Market solution campaigns. So I use the Zero Moment of Truth (ZMOT) strategy. And ZMOT was first introduced and released back in 2011 by Google, and it's the result of after 8 years of data collection using Google Analytics worldwide. Consider every single site on the planet that has got and has had Google Analytics installed. All of that data that's been getting collected from all of those sites is going into one huge big data storage. And Google then takes that huge data collection and they've started segmenting it. They segment it out by industry, they segment it out by channel, they segment it out by conversion, and it just provides some of the most intensely fantastic amount of information that you'll love it. If you've ever been to thinkwithgoogle.com, that's the website where they share that big data repository, and they use that website to provide you with the insights based on all these segments. So I use ZMOT model, and I couple it with the application of specific advertising products that we provide to our clients. In doing this, then it provides a go-to-market strategy that is designed to give the client the absolute best solution for developing advertising strategies online. Channel by channel, attribution based on discovering the personas of client and customer, and absolutely 100% unique for their products, their service offerings, their business size. And it's a single best place to start their advertising experiments. And it's based on billions of data. Can you imagine? It's billions of data that are relative to the client's industry, to their business size, to their unique product offerings, and to their conversions. So the third of the profiles that we have on the database insights and analytics is the business development um, And again, you'll switch the profile to business development, and now all of the campaigns that you're building here are what you have built for prospecting, business development. So all of the data that you start putting in, the reports that you start building, are tied to the prospecting uh, campaign by campaign. So it takes more money and time to develop a new client than it does to keep an existing client. And marketing people, they love to talk about this. This is a great marketing fact that's been known for hundreds of years. So also what they love to talk about then is that if you're going to grow your business, you have to do both. You have to build in new clients and you have to build in quality services and products to retain your existing clients. So with insights and analytics, it gives you the tools to do all of that. You're going to get the client's interest. You're going to show them the best practices for advertising experiments within their vertical. And you're going to keep them because you're going to start getting them conversions. So that makes the difference between what we do and what every other digital advertising agency does. And that we use insights and analytics that we're not just going to start optimizing the client's conversions, but we're going to prove it to them statistically using their own data. And so this is a good place for us to start using the tools. I think this is probably the best place to go, and that's with the prospecting, the business development. So in our next video blog, I'll focus on prospecting. You're going to discover what you can start to know and what you can learn about a client's digital needs and strategies even before we install Tag Manager, even before we look at their Google Analytics, and even before we make the first contact.